we haven't really talked about this much, aside from a couple of rants here and there on the Masters of the Universe Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Is there a better word for that? Messenger?
The Messenger?
Messenger?
I still say chat room. I'm old.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm
so it's more or less a question. Kenneth.
Chris.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
What the fuck?
What the fuck, indeed.
What the fuck?
I guess CD Projekt Red was just under the assumption everyone had like these crazy $3,000 PC rigs to play games.
You know what? Like that part, fine, sure, okay, and they thought that this would, I guess, be the game that people would buy PS5s for and Xbox S's. I'm not sure.
Xbox Series X and S.
Okay, Series X. Okay. But the other part that I always find funny is that then they're like the people are saying, well, they hadn't optimized it for the PS4 or any of the older consoles. And then I'm looking at games that are like 7 years old, 6 years old,
yeah,
like 7 years old, and they still look incredible.
Yeah.
Or like games that are fairly new, but on a 7-year-old system that look incredible, like Red Dead Redemption, for instance.
Yeah.
You know?
There's huge
Watch Dogs Legion, for instance.
Yeah, there's huge games.
Watch Dogs Legion looks so good.
Exactly. Watch Dogs looks great. I mean, Last of Us Part 2 just came out.
Last of Us 2 looked
that thing runs
gorgeous.
That runs perfectly, and it looks amazing, and it was 2-disc installed just like this.
Spider-Man PS4 also looked absolutely incredible. I mean, there was quite a bit more crowd work in that game than I thought possible.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean,
like they didn't play the Arkham game where they were like, oh, everyone is on lockdown, or it's they're in quarantine because it's COVID.
Yeah.
So there's only criminals out on the streets, right? They didn't play that game. They were like, no, it's New York. Everyone is on the streets in New York at all hours of the day and night. So that's what we tried to show, and they did.
Yeah.
But these guys were like, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know, man. They advertise it and they release it as PS4, Xbox One games, and then they don't play on PS4 and Xbox One.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the ones on PS5 and the Xbox Series X, aren't they optimized for the previous console?
Yeah, they didn't even release those versions. Those versions are a year out. Everybody.
Well, sorry, not optimized, but like they're listed as PS4 games.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's buying the PS4, Xbox One game versions, and they're playing it on their PS5, Xbox Series X's. Meanwhile, if you actually own a PS4 or Xbox One, you're fucking not playing this. Man, I tell you, I put 5 hours into this. I had three game crashes. I had one like just wrecked my console. Like I had to do a hard reboot. The amounts of glitches, like it's insane. And
I remember you said that too. You were like, I haven't had a glitch yet, and then all of a sudden it was just like, okay, I got a glitch, and then you were like, and I got to reset my system.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I was this close to being like, dude, you jinxed yourself. But I was like, not today, Chris. Not today.
Well, everybody's
Let's wait.
Like, well, Witcher 3 was really bad, but after a year or 2 years, it's one of the best games ever made. And I'm like, well, then it wasn't ready to get released. As far as I'm concerned, this new fucking mind frame of studios thinking that we can pay $80 to $90 to basically beta test for them. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
Exactly. And then
lie.
I believe it was Will that raised an interesting point that because it's CDR.
CDR, just CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red, CDPR. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so I did my homework for this one. They built up so much goodwill with how they had free download content and the patches were quick with Witcher 3, and everyone was like, oh, it's so great. Like, they took care of us, blah, blah, blah. But EA does this, and everyone loses their fucking minds.
Yeah.
EA is this money-grubbing, microtransaction, like, piece of shit company. Fuck those guys for releasing yet another unfinished game that gets patched in later on. Like, how many of the Star Wars Battlefront games were just like, here's this game, but if you want the full game, you got to pay more. And yet CDPR gets a pass because of releasing The Witcher 3, which was unfinished, glitched to hell, and then, and I even said, like, what happened to Bethesda? Bethesda went from here with the Fallout 3 and especially Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh my God, this is the greatest game of all time. I mean, yeah, there's glitches and stuff like that, but they're working on it. And then Fallout 4 happened, and they were like, okay, this is kind of getting, and then they did Fallout 76, and they were like, fuck this shit, I'm out. This is ridiculous.
BioWare is the same way. BioWare released, all the Mass Effect trilogy, Dragon Age, Knights of the Old Republic. Everyone fucking loves BioWare. And then they come up with Mass Effect Andromeda. People rip the shit out of it. And then they do Anthem, and Anthem got critically destroyed. Like, and I played the fuck out of Anthem. Like, Anthem,
I know. I remember you were like, you got to play this game, and I was like, no, I'm good.
Like, it got critically destroyed. So I mean, like, as far as I'm concerned, no studio is safe. You make a bad game, you should get the bad reviews to go with it. You should get the bad.
I agree, and they shouldn't be allowed to send reviewers their beautiful, pristine copies that can only be played on beautiful, pristine gaming console or gaming computers, and then have these same reviewers being like, yeah, best game ever, like the controls, the immersion, the story, the graphics, oh, it is awesome. It's a shame it wasn't released a month ago because it would have just cleaned up at the awards, right?
Yeah.
And then after people start buying the dumbed down versions, people are like, what the fuck? And then they're like, then all these backtrack reviews come out, and it's like, okay, well,
and I'm really happy. I'm really happy to see something like IGN. IGN has been known to like throw out 9s and 10s to games that don't fucking deserve it, and everyone was like,
yeah,
clearly you're getting paid under the table or something. I was really happy to see them go, oh, that 9 out of 10 we get for Cyberpunk, that's the PC only. And then they did at the PS4 Xbox review, 4 out of 10. They're like, no excuse for this. There's no excuse.
No, and I think it's shitty for, well, obviously for that initial purpose, but also because now a lot of these reviewers have to walk it back and go, yeah, no, what we played was amazing. This is, like, I watched some of these YouTube videos, and I was just like, wait, what? Like, at first I didn't even know what I was looking at. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is, like, ridiculous. Because you see, like, 2012 demo, and you're like, oh, man, this is so bad. And then they're like, 2020 game, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, they're rendering as you talk to them, but even as they're rendering, it's still just god awful garbage.
Oh man, like it's crazy. Like, I was walking around, all the signs were taking moments to generate, so I didn't know what direction to go in. I would look up at the skyline, and the buildings would just like load like Minecraft style. Like, Minecraft looks better than this. Like, this is so rough. Like, I was playing this and I went, I can't believe, like, obviously I was overhyped for this. I don't think this game, regardless, would have lived up to the hype I have for it, because 8 years now I've been pumped for this game. I love cyberpunk culture. You know, the Deus Ex games are freaking amazing. I was so stoked for this. I was so stoked I bought 2 fucking copies because I didn't want to wait for my Amazon version to arrive. Like, it's crazy. I got all my money back. We're good. But
oh yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. I remember it's still just like, whoo, I know, like, and I'm guilty of this too. Like, with the overhyping, I'm guilty of it too. Like I said, I am now refusing to look at any more casting of Spider-Man 3 because I'm gonna now overhype myself to the point where I'm like, the movie can't possibly live up to these expectations, especially because now they might as well just say anybody that was ever in any of the live-action Spider-Man movies, they're in this movie.
Yeah.
So just that's it. That's it. They're in it. They're in it. Even if it makes no sense at all, they're in it. Uncle Ben from the previous Raimi trilogy, who passed away, he's in this movie.
Is he in it?
He's in this movie.
How old is that guy now? That guy's got to be like 100 years old.
I think he's dead. I think he actually passed away.
Oh, okay. So we were joking about that one. I wasn't sure because
I'm being serious. He's in this movie.
What?
Doctor Strange is going to be able to bring him back from the dead, both physically and metaphysically.
Ah, very nice. Good for Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Every single person that was in every single Spider-Man movie is in this one. And that's it.
But yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that. Like we talked about this in the last couple episodes about doing send-offs and shit, and how like I'm stoked for seeing the old guys just as much as Tom Holland. But at this point, I honestly, you're right. I don't think it is going to live up to the hype I'm going to build for it. It's crazy. It's
better to just go blackout.
Yeah.
And if someone starts saying anything like Spider-Man 3, close the window or slap them shut, like slap their mouths shut. Just nope, I don't want to hear it. Or if you're on YouTube and there's a link that says, "Oh, crazy new casting for Spider-Man 3," don't watch it. Just keep your ears like this and your eyes like this because it's unreal. So I feel for you in this regard where you spend like 8 years going like, oh my God, a Cyberpunk game. And I'm with you. I love Cyberpunk. That's one of those genres where I'm like, we don't see enough of it outside of Japanese, Jap anime.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is unfortunate because I don't always like every single Japanese anime that I come across, Cyberpunk or not. But I love the concept of it. I love that futuristic biotech, the whole thing. Like it's just Matrix. Like Matrix is a prime example of Cyberpunk.
Modifying your body to just like do crazy shit. Like it's awesome.
Yeah.
Walls. Okay, let's go get some new eyeballs. Like what?
Yeah. Like I said, I said the Matrix. The Matrix is like the only Western cyberpunk thing that I can think of, and that's heavily influenced by Japanese anime.
Big time.
Heavily. I don't think there's one thing that's influenced by America.
Oh, I do gotta give Cyberpunk a special shout out though. Right away when I went to my apartment for the first time as my character, I went in the bathroom. I was very, very pleased to see the 3 seashells. Toilet paper does not exist.
We're not actually going to reference the movie that's from. For the 2 or 3 people that aren't me that watch this, let us know what you think that movie is, what reference that's from. 3 shells.
Yep.
In the bathroom, no toilet paper. What movie? I'll give you a hint. It's awesome.
I love that.
The best hint I could give you.
Yeah.
There's actors in it, and there's actresses in it, and things happen, and it's awesome. That's the only other hint I'll give you.
And it came out sometime during our nearly 40-year lifetime, so have fun.
Yes. At some point within 38 years, it was released. And I think, if memory serves me correct, Rob Schneider was in it. That's the final clue. That's the final clue.
Was he in it? He might have been in it. He was in random weird things in that time frame.
Yeah, he was. I'm almost certain he was in it.
Okay.
Actually, double check before we.
You know what? I'm going to double check right now because the lead star of the movie we are talking about was in another movie with Schneider. So
I know, but that's not. But I'm almost certain. I feel like he was in real quick.
You could be right. I could see him being in this movie. Let's take a look. Schneider is. Ooh, he's not in the top 10 listing. Let's see. Is he somewhere way down the list?
I don't think it was a big role.
Schneider.
Why not just Google Rob Schneider and the title of the movie?
Schneider. He's not in it, but Jack Black is.
Okay, correction. Jack Black is in this movie.
Weird.
Why did I think I thought he was in that movie.
There's actually a lot of actors in it that I forgot were in it. I got to rewatch that movie.
I just rewatched it a couple months ago. Oh man, is it ever great? It's so great.
Oh, I love that movie, man.
It still holds up. Okay, so ultimately, the other part that I thought was kind of like where Cyberpunk starts saying like, if you have any problems, we'll give you refunds. We'll have no issues giving you refunds, blah, 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 because the end result is we want our customers to be happy.
Yeah.
That is all well and good, but
no one's getting refunds.
No, apparently, like, people are getting refunds, and the ones that are getting refused they're going to CDPR directly, and they're getting helped out some way, shape, or form. But like, that sentiment's all well and good, but if you release the game in its intended form, you would never have had this issue.
Exactly.
Right? Instead of just going for that quick cash grab, which is what this was. This was totally a cash grab.
100%.
Because I don't care what representatives from CDPR have to say. I don't even care if the head guy himself says, we didn't know that the games were being shipped like that, because that's a fucking crock of shit. They knew the shape that those games were in. They knew it, and they sent them out anyway, because their thought process was, well, people will buy it, and we'll just patch it in later like we did with Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Because as much as gamers love to complain about the state of gaming and microtransactions and broken games and things like that, the reason why they still happen is because not us, but, well, in this case, people continue to buy these games when they're broken or when they're unfinished, and they're just like, you know what, I'll wait for the glitches, or I'll wait for the patches, I'll wait for whatever freebies they offer me for this. But until then, I will sit on this $80 to $100 broken game that by the time I'm done playing this game, it probably escalates to about $200 to $300, depending on how much they charge for everything. But we keep doing it. We keep saying, oh, it's so frustrating, it's so angry, but we let them do it because we keep fucking buying the stuff. If we stop doing this, eventually these companies would go, okay. Like, I mean, would it have killed CDPR to say, you know what, we're releasing the PC version because the PC version is exactly what we want it to be. There might be some glitches, but nothing major, but it'll look exactly like you've seen it in the demos. It'll play exactly like you've seen it. Unfortunately, because of time constraints, we couldn't do the PS4. We couldn't do the Xbox One. Those will have to wait till sometime next year. I'm almost certain that while a small minority group would have been like, fuck this shit, most people would go, well, I've already waited 8 years. What's another couple of months? Especially now, knowing that I don't have to get the upgraded console, right? I don't have to shell out $500 for the new console plus another like $600 total for everything. Yeah. I can just wait, and then I can spend $60 and get that copy that's mastered for my older system that I still want to use until there's enough good on the PS5 that I'm like, fuck it, let's pull the trigger.
Yeah, like honestly, man, if I was CD Projekt Red, the 3 or 4 times they went online this year to delay the game again and again, write their nice little letter going, we're really sorry, bumping it a month, we're really sorry, bumping it 3 months, everyone getting annoyed with it. I would have just straight up been honest about it and went, listen, we didn't want to, we thought we could work around this, but the PC version is working. It's not going to run the way we want it to in the PS4 and Xbox One. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cancel those versions. We're going to release them next fall on the PS5, Xbox Series S. Boom, done. I would have been upset about it because I don't have one of those new systems yet, but I would have really, really respected that answer. What they did by showing just the PC version, every single E3, every single review, every single gameplay thing. Also, they released 2 fucking videos just 3 weeks ago with Cyberpunk running on the PS4 and the PS5 side by side to show you the difference and everything.
Exactly.
And it was the PC fucking version on both of these.
Exactly.
Like, they've lied so bad.
Exactly.
Everything.
No matter what they say, no matter how much they try to turn this in like, oh, you know, kind of shit happens, but we'll do what we can to make sure our customers are happy. They lied and they did it for profits because they knew that they'd be able to get away with it. Or at least they thought for sure they'd be able to get away with it. They did not anticipate something like this would happen. Yeah. And again, I go back to that. If it was EA would have been crucified.
Oh, hell yeah.
Crucified. 100%. But that would have been a slow news day because it's EA.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. They wear their corporate overlord shit on their sleeve. They're like, yeah, that's right. Microtransactions. Stop buying the microtransactions and we'll stop putting them in games. It's that simple. Stop buying broken games and we'll stop releasing broken games. It's that simple. No, you don't want to keep doing that? Fuck it. I don't care. Fuck us. We're EA. We'll do whatever we want.
Exactly.
CDPR is different because they tried to be all like, you know, hey guys, we're just gamers like you. But no, fuck that. They're just a corporation just like everyone else.
Yeah.
It's gross. The word I keep thinking in my mouth or in my head is just, it's gross. It is just gross that they did that.
Yeah, it is gross. It's gross. What respect I have for them gone out the window. I don't know if I'll ever replay this because I don't know if I ever want to support them again. I think
it's really tough.
It's absolute fucking horseshit that they would pull that. And trust me, like I stick by my guns when I say that kind of shit. Like, you fuck with your fans. I want nothing to do with you anymore. Your fans are the ones that fucking keep you in business. Like, it's simple. It's really fucking simple.